47% of millionaires got their wealth by actually owning a business. And by the way, most of these are your traditional boring companies, not some flashy Bitcoin or tech startup. In fact, my self-storage site pulled in $218,000 last month and is valued at over £8 million. God blimey, I sound douchey saying that, but please bear with me. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps I took and how you can start building your own boring business as well. But first, let's break down exactly how a self-storage site gets valued, because once you understand this, you'll see how sites can become extremely profitable. Now, before you think £8 million sounds like some fantasy number, let me show you something really simple, how self-storage actually gets valued. Most businesses are valued on profit, and self-storage is no different whatsoever. In plain English, the valuation is basically yearly profit times a multiple, and that equals the value of a business. Don't worry, I'm going to get into examples in a minute. For a single self-storage site, valuations are usually between 3 times profit and 5 times yearly profit. Here's a quick example. If a self-storage site is making £100,000 a year in profit, then a 3 or 5 times multiple, it would be valued somewhere around about £300,000 to £500,000. And by the way, £100,000 a year profit is the low end of where a self-storage business should be. Especially, by the way, if it's well run. And if you're listening to this channel, it will be well run. So with that in mind, you can clearly already see how you get to a 7-figure valuation faster than most people would realize. But you might be thinking, Dean, you said your valuation was over £8 million. How does it jump that high? And that's exactly how you sound, by the way. Well, buckle up, because this is where it gets really, really interesting. Having multiple sites, multiple locations changes the game, because once you've got a portfolio, multiples of profit actually go up. So instead of 3 to 5 times, portfolios can attract more like 8 to 12 times yearly profit, because basically it's seen as bigger, more stable business with systems and predictable performances. And that's the game. This is why self-storage can make you a millionaire, because you're not just building monthly income, you're building an asset that is worth multiples of your profit. In my case, I've got 6 self-storage locations. They're not all at the same stage. Some are mature, some are just filling up. But across the group, we're doing about £1 million in profit. We recently got a valuation of 8.5 million, which is roughly 8.5 times multiple. And by the way, I don't like talking about these numbers. I really get a bit flustered thinking, oh no, people are going to think I'm a douche. Anyway, bear with me. And because we're opening more sites, that profit becomes even more predictable. That multiple can improve again to get closer to that 12 times multiple. So I know what you're thinking. The question here is, how can you do the same? Because it's all right me talking about me, but how can I help you? How can I give you the tools to do the same? Well, let me show you a real-world example I literally just found online this morning. I'll break down exactly what the profit could be at this location and the exit value if you ever wanted to sell. So I did a quick online search and found a really good example in Sheffield, not too far from me, about 45 minutes. But before I go into it, don't get too excited. I already rang the agent and it's gone. But that's actually perfect, because we can still use this as a walkthrough and go through the numbers, and I can show you how to spot a profitable site in the future. So why did I like this site? Well, simple. It had tarmac. It had fencing. It's a main road, so it's got major visibility and easy access. And most importantly of all, the area looked underserviced, meaning there wasn't too much competition around. And by the way, this means that occupancy levels will be high and we can charge more as well. So let's start planning out the numbers. Let's start with the cost, because most people overlook it for some strange reason. And by the way, this is back of a napkin maths, so we're just doing high level figures, okay? We're not going real deep into the weeds here. The rent is £25,000 a year. Business rates, I don't know them, but they're roughly going to be around about £10,000. Marketing, I've budgeted around about £6,000, £500 a month because it's on the main road. So the advertising is going to be minimal. And let's budget, say, £15,000 for utilities, maintenance, insurance, and bits and bobs. So all in, let's call it £56,000 a year in running costs. Just a quick note here, yes, there will be setup costs to get the site up and running, like the containers, signage, gates, CCTV, and a bit of groundwork, etc. But for the purpose of this video, I don't want to get lost in the weeds. The reason I picked this example is because it's already tarmacked and already has security fencing, so upfront cost here should be a minimal. But yes, I do understand that they will be capital expenses first of all, like containers and stuff. And I go deeper into setup costs in other videos anyway, and on my podcast as well. Right, let's get on with the revenue. This site is around about 0.7 acres, which means, and by the way, there's maths behind this as well, you can roughly fit around about 120 containers on this site. If we assume a realistic occupancy is around about 80%, I always go a little bit higher, but let's go for 80% at the lower end. That means that 96 containers will be rented out. And if we charge £180 a month, including insurance, that's going to be £17,280 per month. Or about £207,000 a year. So to work out the profit, it's simple. It's £207,000 a year revenue minus £56,000 worth of costs. This will give you roughly £151,000 per year profit. And this is where valuation comes in. If the market value for a single site is 3 to 5 times multiple, then that one location could be worth roughly £450,000 or £750,000 if you were to sell. That's incredible. That one site off a simple setup. Now, can you imagine if you stack these and open a few sites over time? This is how people quietly build a £1 million a year business in a boring industry like self-storage. But the beauty is you don't need to expand to multiple sites. You don't need to sell. You can simply be happy pulling in £150,000 a year profit from this one small site that's very easy to run. And that's the big takeaway. In self-storage, you're not just leasing a bit of land, you're building profit, and that profit gets multiplied into value of the business. Even a small, simple site like Sheffield example can throw up some massive cash flow and turn into a massive, serious asset. And yes, I know I said massive a lot there, but it's a massive opportunity. If you want me to run through the numbers on your site, by the way, or your area, drop your town or city in the comments and I'll have a look and I'll break it down for you. Because I love doing videos like this. And by the way, if you want more videos like this, then subscribe because I've got loads more in the pipeline. And lastly, if you want me to walk through exactly how to open a self-storage, how to pick the perfect location, and how to avoid that one killer mistake, then I've made a free training that's in the links below, in the description or something. Go and watch that next. Thank you very much. I love you. I appreciate you.